Welcome to the Rotojoes Fantasy Football Podcast. Tonight we have a Scott Fish Bowl Bonanza episode. You have your shirt. Scott so graciously allowed me to be in a little bit later than you. So there's a little
I was
bit
getting
of
worried.
stuff.
I was worried for you.
But now that I got it, like a week ago, honestly, I shouldn't have been worried because I saw people with way more following than us. And honestly, it's a little crazy we've gotten in 2 years in a row. And I see big accounts not get in. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy that. But while sometimes it's a little sporadic, I feel like we make good content. And I have funny memes on Twitter. So I'm going to break through eventually.
I'd love to watch Scott just absolutely flame some of these people when
It's
they're
great.
like,
I love it.
It's rigged. I can't get in. And he's like, well, you signed up 2 weeks ago, and there's people waiting for years to get into this. And I'm like, oof, calm it down.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And it's like, we both, I think, applied for Scott Fish Bowl 11 super late. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, we didn't know, but this is cool. Maybe you didn't. I did.
I did.
Okay, I did. Scott Fish Bowl 12, we both got in. This one we got in. And, like, even then, I'm like, yeah, we're really lucky. And I'm going to sweat it out next year, though I feel like 2 years in a row I'm in there. But it's a fun thing. If you're in it, if you're not in it, do the satellite on Underdog. That's a fun little way to be involved. Fantasy Cares, you can always donate, buy shirts, all that stuff. It's a fun time. Draft starts July 10th. We applied for the Podathon. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited if we do get to do that. If we don't, no biggie. All right, so we're going to just purely talk Scott Fish Bowl. It's a 22-round slow draft, 8-hour timer. It's going to take probably 3 to 4 weeks. If I remember right from last year, about how that took. If you have a fast group, I think one group finished in 5 days. So you might be done quick, probably not.
The thing that gets you on some of these is you have people from all over the world. And all it takes is one person across seas or one person 12-hour time difference from you, and you might as well plan on a month. Because that's what I had last year is I had a guy in, like, England or something, UK. And so, yeah, so he's making his pick at our 3 a.m. And it's just the nature of it. But I actually have come to really enjoy the slow drafts. It gives you a little something to kind of look at, to kind of, gives you more time to decide, strategize. I love it.
Terrible. Pish posh. You suck at drafting.
Fuck off.
Okay, so Scott Fish Bowl. You have a lot of variability here. You have to start 11 players. And there's 11 bench slots, which isn't much. 1 to 2 quarterbacks. It's super flex. So you can start a second. You don't have to. 2 to 6 running backs. 3 to 7 wide receivers. 1 to 5 tight ends. And 0 to 4 kickers. Now, on Sleeper, only 1 kicker can be started. But I think you have to start 1. If you're on my fantasy league, you don't have to. But we'll get to it. Kicker scoring is advantageous. They're actually okay. Katie.
Last year saved my ass because I had Kyler Murray go down with an injury. I was on my fantasy league last year, and what I did was, before anybody noticed, I had all 3 of the top 3 kickers in my wholehearted opinion. And I just would use those for injury fill-ins. I mean, it's got a lot of value to them. They score pretty decently most weeks. It's not a bad strategy to be the first guy to get a kicker, especially if you're in a league like that. Now,
I think my fantasy league, yes. Sleeper,
no. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get one for sure.
Yeah, you have to start one.
Yeah, you have to start one, and then I'll probably just stream them on Sleeper. I made the decision to go Sleeper this year. Everything else I have is ran through Sleeper, so it's just easier for me. But my fantasy league has its upside.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of my fantasy league, but I see why people like it. I get it. It's not for me.
No, I don't like the setup. It's not very user friendly. That's why I picked Sleeper this year.
Waivers are fab. So $100 blind bid. Game versus median every week. So you're playing 2 games, a game against the median score and a game against your opponent. That killed me last year. I did not do good, but it's hard. It's a hard draft. I feel better, not great, but better. Okay, so let's get into the rules. Let's just jump in. Passing, 6-point passing touchdown, 1/10 of a point per completion, 1/10 of a point per passing first down, 1 point for 25-yard passing, and then a 2-point conversion. Like if you get a 2-point conversion, you get 2 points. Rushing, 6-point rushing touchdown, 1 point for 10 rush yards, the 2 point for 2 conversions, point per first down. That's on rushing and receiving. 1/4 of a point per carry. Down the receivers, they get 1 point per reception, 6-point touchdown, a point per first down. Tight ends, extra point per first down and reception. And then kicking, it's a decimal system. No negative. Actually, there's no negative points period this year. That includes kicking. Kicking's a decimal system. Say you hit a 40-yarder, it'll be 4.0 points. If you hit a 59-yarder, it's 5.9 points. Pretty simple there. Special teams, you get 6 points if your player returns a touchdown, 6 points if they recover the ball in the end zone. This is a super high-scoring format. What position group do you feel like, what archetype in a position group? So like rushing quarterback, slot tight end. Who benefits the most from this type of scoring? And I might have just given away the 2 biggest, but.
Oh, yeah, you did. But I think, in my opinion, rushing quarterbacks get the most value. This is the type of league, and we'll get into the specifics later. This is the type of league where Daniel Jones becomes a conversation of a really good guy to have on your roster.
Yes.
If he could go out there and throw 7 interceptions, you don't give a shit.
4th most first downs rushing last year as a quarterback.
Wow. Yeah, so
didn't know that.
He's heavily involved in the rush game. He makes bonehead mistakes, but that doesn't matter. That'd be the only situation where he, comes out. He's got quarterback 1 upside in this league. That's just what it is. And you're going to probably get him at a quarterback 2 cost. Mm-hmm. So like that a lot. Justin Fields, in my opinion, could very well be a top 3 finisher in this league.
Anthony Richardson's probably top 11.
Oh, easily, yeah. Rookie mistakes don't matter. So yeah, there's upside for guys like that. I think that's something you have to invest in.
So check this out. I have an interesting twist on this. So I was kind of looking at it and thinking about it. And obviously, the 2 biggest are rushing quarterbacks and those tight ends that play in the slot. I'd say, though, I really think that pocket passers that take shots, Mahomes, Burrow, Rodgers doesn't throw a lot of picks, but let's say he throws a little more with chemistry issues and wanting to attack and all that. You're not going to be harmed by that at all. So we're getting Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen, guys like that. You're not losing points when they're making mistakes. Allen fumbles a shitload too, so you're not losing there. He's a little bit of a runner, more maneuvering into that pocket side of things though. So I think pocket passers do get a little help. Trevor Lawrence would be one. He threw quite a bit of interceptions his rookie year. His stats wouldn't have been that bad in this league, whereas in other leagues it would have been fucked. So I think there's a little bit to be said there. Okay, so I'm going to go over some notes about players. If you have anything you want to add, pop in. Do we think Kelsey's a for sure top 3 pick, right?
I'd say so. So I saw online, and I hate to not give credit to somebody, but I don't remember who posted it. They took everybody's last year stats and then tiered them out as what they would have scored in this scoring. Go the fuck away. And Kelsey was the only one who contended with, the top 8 quarterbacks. He was the only one even in the bucket. So I think he has, I've heard people have him in the conversation 101. That wouldn't surprise me. I think realistically he's probably 103 to 105. Like if you miss out on quarterback 1, 2, and 3, I can see someone going that way. I can tell you right now, if he falls to 7 where I'm at, I'm going to break my fucking thumb and take that pick.
So I didn't want to be uber high on tight end, but honestly, I'm okay with some 7th round in Joku. I
Yeah.
see an avenue where that's what I do. However, if Kelsey falls to me, I'm grabbing him. He has 2 less first downs in receiving than the league leader, Justin Jefferson, 78 to 80. That's ridiculous. That's double points for Kelsey, though. On top of that, 18 less receptions than Justin Jefferson, league leader. Twice as many points as him for that. That's insane. Kelsey is going to go crazy. Andrews, I struggle with Andrews versus Hawkinson value relative. You can get Hawkinson late second, early third. If he falls to me in the 3rd round at the 3-9 or the 3-3, I'm grabbing him. Probably I have to. Andrews, I'm not so sure I want to grab him in the 2nd. There's a lot of weapons out there now. If Odell stays healthy, if Zay Flowers is decent, if Bateman takes a little step up, that's a major target competition he's never had. So that's not to say he's not going to still be a top 5 finisher. He's still an elite tight end. He'll be a top 5 finisher. I think if you can grab a player in the 2nd round, do that and hope Hawkinson falls with those fallback options. And Joku, Ingram, Fryermuth is not one I like, but that's one people will probably prop up. There's plenty of guys you could pivot to. They're not going to be as good. George Kittle is one if you like him as a bounce back guy. So that's something you could do. I like Hawkinson quite a bit. I think he's going to slide into the Adam Thielen target role. And I'm not sure that people are projecting it even as correctly as they should.
Well, target-wise, after the trade to Minnesota, the difference between him and Kelsey is
crazy. If he was the tight end 1, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, that wouldn't shock me.
I wouldn't be shocked either. All it would take is Kelsey, missing one game, and I think it's within the possibility. So yeah, I've done a lot of mocks. I've looked at a lot of things, and I've seen Andrews go as early as late first. I'm probably not in at that price. I don't even really like him in the 2nd. I know he will be gone. Someone's going to do that. I've seen people just go retarded with tight ends, and it's an okay strategy, but you got to realize you're going to decimate yourself elsewhere.
Yeah.
You can flex those guys all day long, but at a certain point, you got to, even though they get double points, you got to realize usage really isn't there for a whole lot of them.
Yep. So here's something you need to think about with rushing quarterbacks. Point per first down. Hurts and Justin Fields, 68 and 65 rushing first downs. Hurts might be 67. Don't kill me if I was one off. Both scored at the least, and it's probably a little more than this, 4 points extra a game just off that. Think of Richardson, how that helps him. Hurts, obviously, just mentioned too. Kyler Murray, if he plays. For me, and your input, I'm curious about. I'm going to definitely start quarterback, tight end, or some reverse of that, or quarterback, one of those skill positions, tight end, skill position, or super flex, quarterback flex, and then quarterback flex. So you get 2 top end skill positions, a tight end, and 2 quarterbacks in the first 5.
I think that's a good idea.
I think that's how you have to attack it. And I'm getting 4 quarterbacks. I'm getting 3 in the first 10 rounds, and then Mac Jones or Ryan Tannehill, whoever lasts the longest, I'm grabbing them.
Yeah, you got to have a backup option.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, because you never know who's going to get hurt, and then you're really – because like last year I had Kyler Murray and Scott Fishbowl, and I was royally fucked at some point. And who was my third? My third was like – I went cheap on the third one. I think I went with Trubisky. Didn't pan out that way. I think I got him in on one game where Pickett was out. But, yeah, so for me, I agree. I think it's quarterback. It would have to be Kelsey that falls to me in the first round for me to not go quarterback round 1. But I agree. I want 2 quarterbacks in the first 4.
If Justin Fields is there, if Fields is there at 9,
I think he will be. I think
he will be too.
I think what we don't realize about Scott Fishbowl is it's not all people like us who eat and sleep and drink fantasy football. There's just regular normal people out there. that'll take the name they know the best. So, I think we're kind of over evaluating it to some degree, but yeah, I got to get a tight end, and I did a mock the other day where I took tight end in the 3rd and 5th round and came out with Kittle and Waller, and I like that.
That's yeah. Waller I don't like, but Kittle, I would not love that core.
Waller, dude,
Ingram
he's
and
the best
Jones
receiver in New York.
might be hurt. All right, guys. So for the second part of this episode, there'll be a little break. It'll be like a little black screen. And we're going to do a mock draft for Scott Fishbowl on the fantasy mocks. I'll put a link in the bio to that. So black screen, we'll be right back.